Good morning, wonderful, amazing, fantastic algebra students. This is Ms. Youngblood here, giving you today's review topic, which is equations with parentheses. Again, if you guys are in need of assistance with any of the assignments I've given, any old assignments, resources in our area, just make sure you're reaching out through email, text message, any mode of communication that I provided to get that assistance that you need. So let's jump into today's review topic, equations with parentheses. I'm beginning with the assignment that was posted on Google Classroom. For our first problem, we have negative 14 equals 7x minus 6 minus 5x. Obviously, this equation doesn't have parentheses. When we're solving equations that have a little more going on the right side or either side of the equation, you want to start by simplifying it first before you start isolating the variable. So if you look on the right side, we see we have some like terms we can combine. We can do 7x minus 5x. Again, this subtraction sign is attached to this 5x. So 7 minus 5x gets us 2x, and then we just brought down this minus 6 or this negative 6. Again, this subtraction sign is attached to this 6. Now we want to get the variable by itself. We want to isolate this x. So we're going to add 6 to both sides to keep the equation balanced and cancel out this negative 6 here. So negative 6 plus 6 is 0. 2x plus 0 is just 2x. Again, we're adding 6 to this side as well to keep our equation balanced. Negative 14 plus 6 gets us negative 8. Lastly, to get x by itself, we want to use inverse operations. We're going to divide both sides by 2 because when a number is next to a variable, that is multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're dividing both sides by 2 to cancel this 2, as well as keep the equation balanced. 2 divided by 2 gets us 1. 1 times x is just x. Negative 8 divided by 2 gets us negative 4. So our final answer for this first equation is negative 4. We're going to jump down to problem 6. Problem 6 on the assignment is here. So we're given the equation negative 82 equals 5v minus 3 times the quantity 5v plus 4. Again, you want to start by simplifying both sides of the equation. This negative 82, there's nothing to simplify, so we just brought this down. To simplify this side, we're going to distribute this negative 3 into the parentheses. Again, this is a negative 3 because of this subtraction sign. Negative 3 times 5v gets us negative 15v. Negative 3 times 4 gets us negative 12. We can still simplify this side of the equation by combining like terms. We see our true like terms are positive 5v and negative 15v. So positive 5 minus 15v gets us negative 10v, and we just brought down this negative 12 because there was nothing to combine it with. Now we want to start isolating this v. The first thing we want to move is this 12 because we're using the opposite of order of operations, PEMDAS, start with addition and subtraction first. So we're going to add 12 to both sides of the equation. Negative 12, again this is negative because of the subtraction sign. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. Negative 10v plus 0 is negative 10v. Again, we added 12 to this side of the equation as well to keep it balanced. Negative 82 plus 12 gets us negative 70. Now we want to move this negative 10 to get v by itself. We're going to use division because we know when a number is in front of a variable, that's multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So negative 10 divided by negative 10 gets us 1. 1 times v is v. Negative 70 divided by negative 10 gets us 7. So our final answer for this problem, problem 6, is v equals 7. The last problem on the handout that we are going to review is problem 12. So for problem 12, again, we want to simplify all of this before we start moving things across the equal sign. So on this side, there's nothing to simplify. We just brought down 22. On this side, we want to start by distributing the 7 into the parentheses. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 7n is 49n. So we brought both those down. For this set, we're going to distribute this negative 5 into the parentheses. Again, this is negative because of the subtraction sign in front of it. Negative 5 times negative 5n is positive 25n. Negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15. Now we can start combining like terms on the left side of the equation. So we know the 7 and the 15 are like terms because they both don't have a variable. So 7 plus positive 15 is 22. We know the 49n and the 25n are like terms because they both have the variable n. 49n plus 25n gets us 74n. Again, all these were positive because we were just adding positive numbers. We want to start moving things to get the n by itself. The first thing we want to move, or the first term we want to move, is 22, because if we were using order of operations, that would be the last thing we would do to simplify the expression. Again, work backwards. So we're going to subtract 22 from both sides because the 22 is positive. We're subtracting it from both sides to keep the equation balanced. Positive 22 minus 22 is 0. 0 plus 74n is 74n. Again, on this side, we also have 22. So positive 22 minus 22 is 0 again. But we want to put this 0 because if you put nothing here because it canceled, solving the rest of the equation will be kind of confusing. So you can always add a 0, but on this side it wouldn't make sense because we are the object of subtraction. The reason we're subtracting is to get n by itself. So now the last step we need to do to get n by itself is divide by this 74. Again, whenever a number is next to a variable, that's multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division. So we're using division on both sides to keep the equation balanced and cancel this 74. 74 divided by 74 is 1. 1 times n is n. 0 divided by 74 is just 0. So the answer for problem 12 is n equals 0. Now we're going to look at the problems, some of the problems that were given in the Khan Academy set. We know Khan Academy tends to amp things up. In the Khan Academy set, they actually gave you equations with parentheses and they had variables on both sides. So we're reviewing that a little bit more formally tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow on Tuesday. But we'll get a quick exposure to what that looks like in the Khan Academy set. I believe it should only be 4 problems for you all. So the first problem that Khan Academy gave me was 9g equals 3 times the quantity -4 plus 5g. Again, we want to approach this the same way. Simplify this side first. Distribute this 3 into the parentheses. So 3 times -4 is -12. 3 times 5g is 15g. Now, we have variables on both sides of this equation. So it's helpful to denote what side is going to be our variable side. I think it would be most beneficial to make this side, your left side, the variable side, because there are only variables on this side. There are no constant terms. It doesn't matter, but you just have to be careful and make sure you're putting zeros to hold places when necessary. But again, we're going to make the left side the variable side in this example. So all the variables from this side need to be moved to the left side. We need to move this 15g. It's positive, so we're going to use inverse operations and subtract it. Positive 15g minus 15g is 0. This cancels. So -12 plus 0 is -12. So -12 is what's remaining on this side. Then we're going to subtract -15g from the other side to keep our equation balanced. 9 minus 15g gets us -6g. Our final step to isolate g is to divide both sides by this -6. We're dividing to cancel the multiplication that is shown when a number is next to a variable. So -6 divided by -6 is 1. 1 times g is g. 12 divided by -6 is -2. No, positive 2, I'm sorry. -12 divided by -6 is positive 2. So our final answer for number 1 is positive 2. The second problem in the set. I can't see. The second problem in the set was 3 minus 2 times the quantity b. Yes. b minus 2 equals 2 minus 7b. I'll say the F word, 7b. So again, we want to start by simplifying this side of the equation. This side, we do have 2 terms, but we can't combine them because they're not like terms. So we're just going to bring down the 2 minus 7b. On this side, we're going to distribute the -2 into the parentheses. -2 times b is -2b. -2 times -2 is positive 4. So now we're going to combine like terms. We see the 3 and the 4 are like terms because they both don't have a variable. Positive 3 plus positive 4 gets us positive 7. And we brought down this -2. Again, the subtraction sign is attached to this 2b. So that's why we just brought it down. No like terms to combine. Now both sides of the equation have variables and constants. So it doesn't really matter what side you make your variable side. For the sake of ease and consistency, we're going to make the left side the variable side. So you want all the variables on this side to be moved to the left side. It means we need to add this 7b to both sides because it is negative. Negative 7b plus 7b is 0. 2 plus 0 is just 2. So we added 7b on this side as well. Negative 2 plus 7b is 5b. So we have 7 plus 5b equals 2. Now, to get b by itself, you have to move 7 from both sides of the equation to keep the equation balanced. To move the 7, it's positive, so we're going to subtract it from both sides. 7 minus 7 is 0. 0 plus 5b is 5b. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. The last step to get b by itself is to divide both sides by this 5 using division, because when a number is next to a variable, that is multiplication. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times b is b. Negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. So our final answer for number 2 is b equals negative 1. The last equation in this set that looked the most different to me, that I thought would be the most meaningful to go over, is this one. It was given as negative quantity 4 plus h. Whenever there is just a sign in front of something, whether it be a variable or parentheses, keep in mind you can always put a 1 there. So technically we're going to distribute this negative 1 into the parentheses to start simplifying the left side of the equation. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Negative 1 times h is negative h. Again, this is a negative 1h. The right side of the equation only has variables on it, so we're actually going to get our variables on the right side for this equation. Again, it doesn't matter, but it's just easiest to get the variables on the side that only has variables, if that's the case. So we're going to add h on both sides to keep the equation balanced and move all variables to this side. Negative 1h plus 1h is 0. Negative 4 plus 0 is negative 4. On this side, again, we're doing 3h plus 1h. 3h plus 1h is 4h. The last step to get h by itself is divide by this 4. We're dividing by 4 on both sides to keep the equation balanced and cancel out this multiplication by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times h is h. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So our final answer for this third problem in the set is h equals negative 1. That concludes our review of working with equations with parentheses for the Khan Academy and the assignment that's posted on Google Classroom. If you have specific questions on other problems on the assignment or your particular problems in the Khan Academy set, feel free to comment down below, comment on Google Classroom, send me an email, or we could set up a Zoom or Google Hangout video meeting. Again, I'm still playing with those, not sure which one is most effective. If you already have a preference, I can work on setting either of those up for you. We're going to end by looking at today's daily meditation that was posted on Google Classroom on Friday. So this is Friday's daily meditation. So for Friday's daily meditation, the topic was spreading positive energy. During times of crisis, we tend to focus solely on ourselves due to the amount of stress caused by our situations. We've seen people piling grocery carts with toilet paper and meat that has led to a shortage in grocery stores. Although this selfishness is understandable, it contradicts our natural desire to be social. Generally speaking, we tend to feel better when we are taking the time to interact with others in a positive way. These positive interactions can be as small as taking the time to talk to those around you about how they are doing during this stressful time, and reaching out to other friends and family who you might not get to see. We could also create and post videos that might bring joy or a little stability to those who are truly suffering during this time. Whatever you do, take the time to bring some positive vibes into someone's life. And my song of the day, which I'm going to start adding, is Stand Up from Harriet by Cynthia Erivo. So again, if you want to share your comments on the daily meditation or your song of the day that's been kind of helping you maintain your sanity during this crazy time, feel free to comment that below, comment on Google Classroom, or you can send me a private email or a message if you would like. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you guys soon.